years ago, a couple of years ago. You know, that was, I thought, you know, that was a great course because it combined, you know, quite big. You know, it's not, we don't ever think of Rolex as being a really big track. You sort of think, well, it used to be always Badminton was the big one. Burghley was the sort of one below Badminton. And, you know, sort of Rolex with that sort of level, and then Poe and Le Moulin as being the slightly easier 4 stars sort of thing. But then it changed that Burghley got bigger and bigger, but quietly bigger, so that horses and riders were coping and sort of, I think, you know, being prepared to what was to come. And you know, Burghley, you know, Mark Phillips made a huge difference at Burghley, getting the footing much better. And you know, we're very spoiled. We've got some great events. They're all really exciting. Riding horses is very, obviously, if you do work around the yard, it's very upper body, arms, you know, mucking out, brushing, tacking up, washing down, everything's a bit sort of upper body. Okay, walking the courses and riding, you know, that's obviously more of a bit, you know, your core, legs a bit walking the courses. But tennis is quite, you know, it really stretches you. It's not, I mean, it gets your heart rate up a bit. It's still not great for your heart rate, but unless you rush around like a demon. So anyway, I do play tennis and I do sometimes run, but I'm not very good at running. But sometimes, like now, this time of the year, I notice, because I'm not working so hard because the horses are resting, I'm just playing around. I've got some young horses. Usually at this time of the year, I have 2 girls who work for me during the season, and they go. We be jumping our horses. Right, purely depends on how much the horse has to learn, really, and how, you know, if he's going through a difficult phase, that sort of thing. The good horses that know their job, that jump well, you know, the advanced horses, I would only jump them maybe once a week, just to give them that sort of, you know, the right exercise through their bodies, you know, possibly twice a week. You know, but maybe once a week jumping a bit bigger fences to make sure they're using the right muscles, keeping their eye in, and I'm keeping my eye in, jumping bigger fences as well. The younger horses I'd jump definitely twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week if they're being really rushing and excited. You know, they might need to spend a day of, you know, trotting around teeny little jumps, trotting, stopping, you know. Normal canter. And then maybe if you could change, if you could do a simple change somewhere. Maybe do a sort of a little figure of 8 so that, yeah, oh, well done, good boy, that's all right. And again, the canter forward and back, so a little bit more forward. So try and be a little bit more, what's the word, not generous, a bit more attacking with your forward, a little bit ask more of him. That's right, really move him on. An effective rider, the better you sit, the more effective you'll be. Now, to be effective, you want to have a nice, straight upper body, nice and vertical, as you're working your horse on the flat. The more sort of vertical you are, the more you can sit down on your bottom, sit deep into the saddle as you're going on, especially on into canter or sitting trot, to be sitting deep in the saddle. You know, that's where you're going to be most effective as a rider. And I've had it over the years, you know, had lessons from many different people. I go to somebody called Ferdy Alberg, is my main trainer, but I've had lessons from other people, and Carl Hester's been a great help over the years. Carl Hester to me. Three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. Very good. Okay. Good. That's it. Well done. Nice active trot. Then maybe if you want to come back to a halt and then halt into trot. So ride him forward into the halt, so you've got every chance of the hind legs coming up underneath him. Okay, beautiful, well done. And then trot on. Whoops. So do that again, and make sure you keep him straight, his body, when you ask him to trot on, so he doesn't get in a muddle that you're wanting him to canter. So take out the bend in his neck as you ask him to trot on, and then there's more of a chance of him actually right hind. And yeah, just walk on one more. Good boy, good boy, good. Okay, and now a nice trot on, head, whoops, head down. Well done. Good, get his head down. Oops. Okay, okay, that's fine. We just worming it, so just getting the sort of hang of it there. Whoops. Okay, and just worming it. So, you know what I do when I do this at home, I'll put out the 4 poles. I won't sort of measure between them, just randomly put 4 poles, canter the 4 poles, and you know, think, you know, make yourself think and feel what the stride pattern's like. And okay, you know, here, say with Morgan, generally it was sort of 5 strides, it was the normal. I think you then went on sort of 4.5 strides there, whether it's because that is slightly shorter between those two, or whether you didn't ride your curve out as much, I'm not sure. Longer rounder outline than I'll be having them, but not to just be going along on a loose rein. You want them actually using their back muscles, working on over their back. So shorten up your reins a little bit, Jenna, and get your horse sort of down and round, not down and just with his nose out, just sort of trotting on in quite a long outline. Really sort of condense the outline a little bit and make sure they're working forward over their backs into a contact, but with their head and neck in a lower, rounder position than you would have in a dressage test. Okay? So just make sure, you know, rather than just trotting along on a long rein when they're not really then using those back muscles and getting their bodies really working through. So obviously Megan, your horse hasn't really learned to trot down and round.